Hey everyone, so, ooh, this is, Catfish Season 6, Episode 6, called Mecca and Tanner. Mecca is the one who wrote in, Tanner is the one she's concerned about. So the initial email, I'm gonna be cursing like a sailor in this one, because, I'll try to refrain, but, I swear, entire episode, I was cursing, or the second half of the episode, I was cursing like a sailor. Anyway, so Mecca is an 18-year-old girl who lives in Tampa, Florida. She met this guy named Ryan 5 years ago, and he said he lived in Texas. He became her first love after a few weeks of only talking to each other. And apparently he came in at a time when she was getting bullied at school a lot. She had convinced him to video chat one time, but it was so dark that she couldn't see, Mecca couldn't see any facial features of Ryan. And apparently, like, it was dark enough where she couldn't see his facial features, but she could see that he was wearing a hoodie. She became suspicious, and after a while, he broke down and admitted he was at the guy in the photos. He gave her a different photo of another guy and said his name was Tanner. So after reading the email, I forgot to mention Io is involved, filling in for Max, or filling in for Neve, since he's, at the time, he was still on maternity leave. So yes, it's Io. And Io goes by, uses the pronouns he, him, her, or he, him, he and him. And himself, I think. Pretty sure, yeah, himself. And so, anyway, so, once they, call on Skype, Max and Io, get information that she's in her last year of high school, and Ryan, Tanner, aka Ryan, had his cousin Taylor contact Mecca on Facebook and told her Ryan had looked at her profile and thought she was cute. So Mecca was like, okay, send me a photo first, and we can go from there. And that's how it all started. And Io then asked how Tanner first came about. And I forgot to mention that they were already in Tampa, Florida when this whole episode started, so I forgot to mention that. Anyway, Mecca explains that she told him he never sends her proof, and he came clean. I'm in the wrong part. I'm in the right part, okay. And so, yeah, she's explaining that he never actually sent her proof that he was the person in photos, and so he came clean about who he supposedly really is. And since they're already in Tampa, they just go straight to her house. Sorry for the dog barking in the backyard, or the dog barking. There's a neighbor who has a dog, and I can't actually tell him to be quiet, so sorry about that. Anyway, so at Mecca's house, I found out Tanner is 19. And at the 2-year mark of them, dating, there would be a death, and every week there would be a death in the family or a friend who died, and all that, and then she also explains that when she had asked Tanner, who was going by Ryan at the time, to video chat, Tanner had turned his head, and his hair fell, and when it fell, it showed that it was long hair, not short hair like the Ryan picture showed. So she panicked, got off the video, got off the video chat. There's a military plane going by. Sorry about that. Anyway, so he claims he tried to get in touch with her shortly after she got off the video chat, but she was like, no, you didn't, because I have 0 missed calls and zero unanswered texts, or 0 unviewed texts. So basically, that's when she confronted him about being the person in the photos, and that's how Tanner came about and all that stuff. And she's saying, well, it doesn't, like, she was like saying something about how it doesn't matter if he looks different, just as long as he's actually Tanner. And so, like, I get she's young, but it almost always matters if, like, regardless of if Tanner didn't actually turn out to be a girl in this episode, regardless of that fact, if Tanner hadn't been the person in the photos, as the actual person in the photos, and was some random ass dude who took two other men's photos, she would have been upset that he was the person in the photos, like any person would be. So I guess she's young and she would say that, but it would matter if Tanner really wasn't the person in the photos that he said he was the second time. It really would matter. Like, I'm sorry, but you're just young. You're young. I'm sorry, you're young. Anyway. You look at the photos, Tanner sent us Ryan and as himself, and then, apparently one picture that he sent to her, supposedly as himself, is him holding a catfish. So, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, so Tanner doesn't have a Facebook page supposedly, but Ryan does. They then look at it and see that he's part of a GBL, or it's basically an LGBTQ support group. And within that page, they notice that she herself, at least her profile, had written a couple things on the page, on the group page. Clearly wasn't her, because she's not gay herself. So she would have no real reason. I mean, she could be an ally and be in the group, but she's not gonna be like, she's not gonna be all out there and saying she wants to be with women. So, I mean, I doubt she'd actually like be that heavily involved with the group if I mean, it's not really including the allies in the group or anything. But anyway, still, the point is she didn't write it herself. She actually didn't write it herself. So someone has been pretending to be her, and she explains 4 years ago, probably like 2012, apparently, she gave Tanner her Facebook password to her account because they wanted trust and everything. I'm like, at least she says herself that she was young. I mean, she's still young. Based off of comments she's been saying. She's still, I mean, she sounds really young based off of what she's been saying this entire episode. But still, she was very young, because 4 years ago she was 14. I'm just like, yo, girl. Damn. I'm just like, yo. I mean, I still, like, I really, I'm trying to remind myself she was 14. She was fucking 14. It's not, like, I'm trying to remind myself she was 14. I'm trying to. Like, I'm trying. This episode, I'm telling you, this episode had me all kinds of fucked up. Like, I guess maybe not just the latter part of the episode, maybe want to cuss like a sailor, but still. Anyway, the next day, we go investigate, start the photos, and like always, I mean, I mean, at that point, they already know it's a fake profile. So when they search the Ryan photos on reverse Google image, of course it's not going to come back with anything. I mean, I don't know why they did it in the first place if they already knew it was a fake profile, but anyway. Because I even brought up the fact that it's like, they already know it's a fake profile, so, I mean, I don't know why the fuck Max is, like, trying to go look anyway. I mean, I guess he just wanted the satisfaction of being the one to actually put the pictures in Google reverse imaging. It's, I don't know, I mean, because he usually doesn't do that, it's Neve who does that, so, I suppose he just wanted to be the actual one to do it, but, I mean, it's just, whatever. I'm gonna try not to fault Max too much on that, since he usually never does it, but I'm still side-eyeing him about that shit, because I'm like, boy, get it together. Like, anyway, so they look at Ryan's cousin's page, Taylor's page, and it seems the only picture that they can see is her profile picture. I guess they have to be her friend to see more, but anyway. A woman named Keisha posted on Taylor's page the day before, this was being filmed, this particular day was being filmed, about needing Taylor to cover a shift. So they send Keisha a Facebook message, and then they run the phone number that's attached to a Tanner, but there's no name or address attached to it, so, the only thing they know is that it's listed in Brownwood, Texas. Then, a second later, Keisha calls them. And she says Taylor, she sees, Taylor doesn't have a boyfriend, but has a lot of guy cousins she talks about and all that stuff. And so they message Taylor on Facebook. But Io doesn't think Taylor will call back. But lo and behold, Taylor does call back. But when they pick up, Tanner is the one who answers, not Taylor. So, and Tanner says that, his cousin Taylor gave him Max's number. So, he says his name is Tanner, and it's just that he's not the guy in the photos. Big shocker. Big ass shocker. Not that surprised. They talk for a little bit and then they hang up. And then Io thinks that Tanner's trans. I was thinking that too for a hot second, but then I ran up against the thought of, well, if that were true, why are you calling from Taylor's phone? Because the number came up as Taylor's number, not Tanner's number. So you would think that if Tanner has his own number, he would call from his own number, not his cousin's. So why the hell is he calling from Tanner, or why the hell is he calling from Taylor's number if he has his own number? Makes no sense. So that was kind of my first inkling that none of this shit was actually, like, Tanner wasn't trans, Tanner wasn't a guy, like, or Tanner wasn't a trans man, and Tanner was not a cis man at all. So, just saying, that was my first kind of inkling. So anyway, so they go meet up with Mecca. I think either the same day or the next day or whatever. And Mecca is helping her parents out on the food truck that her parents own. To explain things, her mom decides to go. Her mom Heather decides to sit in on what Max and I explained to Mecca. And they explain everything, and they all decide to go to Brownwood, and Heather decides to go as well. Later that day, though, Max gets a message from Tanner, and they plan to talk on the phone. So Max decides to go call Tanner, but doesn't get an answer. And then a second later, they get a FaceTime call. So when the video comes up, They only see Tanner's nose and mouth. And Tanner, this sealed the deal for me. This sealed the deal. Okay? Tanner says, well, no, I think either Max or Io, or maybe even both of them, asked the question of, like, are you a girl? Or, and then Tanner's like, clearly I'm a guy. And that shit boiled my blood. I was like, yo, no. None of that shit's clear. You're in a darkened room. You're in a fucking darkened room. You're in a darkened room, bitch. You're in a darkened room. You're in a motherfucking darkened room, okay? Darkened room, sorry. You're in a motherfucking darkened room. First of all. Second of all, you're wearing a fucking hoodie. You're wearing a goddamn hoodie that is covering your fucking eyes. That's covering your fucking eyes. So, and the only thing that Max and Io can goddamn see is your nose and mouth. None of your other facial features are seen. So, how the fuck are we supposed to see that you're a guy? I mean, if none of your other fucking facial features are seen, how the hell can we clearly see you're a guy? Especially since you're in a darkened fucking room with the fucking hoodie covering your damn eyes. That's not clear at all. That's the opposite of fucking clear. That boiled my goddamn blood, I swear to God. Like, and that pretty much sealed the deal for me, that this was not a trans man or a cis man. Neither of those two were options for me. Because I was like, no. Because if you were truly... I would more so understand if you were a trans man. But... and you know, kind of concealing yourself. I would more so understand if you're a trans man and you hadn't actually been out. Because I'd come out as trans. Okay, I would understand that. I would totally understand that. But if you're a cis man, you'd never fucking even be on video chat in the first place. If you were a real cis man, you weren't actually the person in the photos, you'd never be on fucking video chat in the first place. No damn way. No way. I didn't think it was a cis man. Or a trans man. I didn't think it was a trans man at that point either. Because I was like... I mean, I kind of doubt that a trans man who wasn't actually out as a trans man would be on video chat. Because I would understand if they were really truly scared about coming out as trans. I would truly understand if they were like scared to come out as trans, and so therefore didn't want to be on video chat. So I knew so that basically told me that they were not a trans man or a cis man. So I'm gonna need this person to with this fucking mess. I'm gonna need them no, I'm sorry, but no. I'm serious. That shit boiled my damn blood. No, it's not fucking clear. Because your facial features aren't even clear to begin with. Because you're in a fucking darkened room. And you have a hoodie covering your fucking eyes. So no damn way is that shit clear. No. Anyway. So the next day, they tell Mecca and her mom what happened the night before. And then they go to Texas. Once they land, Max sees that he's got an address for Taylor saying he is home. So Max, Io, and Mecca decide to go meet him at his house without her mother, Heather. At the house, Tanner doesn't want to come out. No fucking surprise. No surprise there. At all. No surprise. No surprise. So Max is gently saying, come on, why don't you just crack the door open and we can talk for a second. Tanner does, and then Max gets Tanner to come out, and it's actually Taylor. Taylor is a cis woman who is a lesbian. A cis woman, you hear what I'm saying? A cis woman. And if y'all don't know what cis means, sorry about that. If y'all don't know what cis means, it basically means a person who identifies with the gender that they were born with, or born as. Sorry, not born with, born as. It just means someone who's born or who identifies with the gender that they were born as. That's what basically cis means. So it's a cis woman who is a lesbian, cis lesbian woman, or cis lesbian girl, because no self-respecting woman is gonna fucking do all this shit. So, a cis lesbian girl. And so she explains that she talked to Mecca as Taylor first, but when she asked Mecca if she was into girls, Mecca said she wasn't, and so Taylor didn't accept Mecca's sexuality and thus created Ryan and then Tanner. Mecca reveals that she knows about Taylor logging into her profile and having Mecca being added to the LGBTQ group and posting as Mecca. Taylor says she doesn't remember that. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that fucking play right there. I call bullshit on that shit. I call fucking bullshit. She does. She just doesn't want to be in more trouble than she already is. Like, fuck that. No, she remembers. She just doesn't want to fucking admit to it because she doesn't want to get into more trouble than she already is. Fucking bullshit. But we find out none of her family members have died, but apparently her friends have. The town apparently she lives in is apparently very religious, so it is an easy place to be gay. Mecca then takes some time by herself in the car for a second, while Max and Al continue talking with Taylor. Once Max and Al, part ways for the day with Taylor, they go into the car and they ask Mecca if she remembers the conversation with Taylor. Sounds at first like she's gonna say, since it was so long ago, she doesn't remember the conversation. Then that's when Taylor calls and she said she lied about her friends dying and committing suicide. See, none like at this point I was like, none of this shit phasing me at this point. Like at this point I wasn't like, I'm just sitting here thinking like, girl, if you don't stop fucking lying, like girl, if you don't stop. Anyway, so the next day they meet with Taylor at a park and confront her about lying, and she said she shouldn't have done what she did, all the things she said and done, and I was like, well, you're gonna find someone who's gonna love you for you being your authentic self and all that. I'm just sitting here. I mean, as much as I want to say that to people, I'm just like, when you decide to do shit like this, you have zero sympathy for me. Like, you literally have zero sympathy. Like, I'm not gonna fucking say that. I mean, I'll say it to Mecca because she truly deserves it. I mean, but not to Taylor. Anyway, so 2 months later, Mecca hasn't really talked to Taylor since they actually met in person. And she assumed that Taylor just wanted to figure things out by herself for a second before talking, and they tried. We find out they've tried multiple times to contact Taylor, but they haven't been successful in talking. And so I'm gonna assume that I probably shouldn't assume, but I'm gonna do it anyway, that Taylor still catfishing, and when they tried to contact her, she was pretending to be someone else at that specific moment. So that's just me. I didn't see any promo preview for next week's episode at the end of this episode for some reason. So I have no idea what's coming next week. But yeah. This episode, I was just like, yo, this episode really, really boiled my blood. I was like, yo, if Taylor don't stop doing this shit, like, if Taylor don't stop fucking, I was like, really, Anyway, so, yeah, so I can't really make any predictions for next week, so, that's all I really have for you. So all I really have. So I'll see you guys next week.